to be $1 million speaker, how to make a lot of moolah. Okay, so I just watched today an episode by Fraser Brooks where he talks about how to be $1 million speaker. So we're going to be talking about that today with a little bit of a twist. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Marianne Roos. I am your guide to releasing the badass in you. And this, by the way, whoop, my little cow, it's falling. So this, by the way, this is for a Dare to Declare challenge that I'm participating in. And if you like to do challenges and go for your goals, I highly recommend joining the Goal Getters Global. I'll put the link for that in the notes for today's chat. But yes, I was watching this. It was on YouTube. He probably had it in other places, but I saw it on YouTube by Fraser Brooks about how to become $1 million speaker. And so what he was talking about is to where you get paid in the millions to speak at events or to speak to businesses, right? So that was the focus of his video. And I would like to take that into a separate little twist. But before I do that, there's a story that he shared in there that I really related to. And I wonder if you relate to that as well. He shared about his experience about being put on the spot to be a speaker. And so he is part of the network marketing industry, just like I am. It is a fantastic industry to be in. It is a way to create a lifestyle on our own choices of time and where we work and things like that, right? To where we have choices that we can make. Now, we also have the choice that if we don't do anything, we don't make anything. That's a choice. With that said, the story that he shared about being put literally into the fire of speaking is that he was going to an event with his dad and his mom, to where his dad was the host of the event. And all the way to the event, he kept on telling his dad, I'm not speaking there, right? I'm not getting on stage. I'm not going to be speaking, right? His dad didn't say yes or no. Once they got to the event, Fraser is sitting towards the backside so that he can see everything real good. And his dad is out there on the stage, the microphone. I don't have a microphone. I was like, I should grab a microphone, and talk like I've got a microphone. I don't have one yet. That's okay. And so he's talking into the microphone and he says, let me introduce to you someone that is near and dear to me. Someone that has been living upstairs in my house. And so there, Fraser just like melts in his seat. He's looking, where is the exit door? Can he just sneak out the back? And it turns out that apparently his dad already thought about that possibility, and he had some folks that were at the door making sure that Fraser would not get out. So there, he is being ushered towards the front to the stage, where he grabs the camera. Not the camera, but the microphone. So here's my pretend microphone. And he shared that as he's holding the microphone at the very bottom, and he was so nervous, he said that you could see the microphone just shake in his hand. And he just started crying and he just left the stage. And I can relate to that. Here's my story. Imagine being at church, about 20 to 30 people kind of thing. It was a small church out in the country kind of stuff in Hawaii. It's considered to be out in the country. So in Hawaii, the church I used to go to, we were putting on a little show, you could say. One of our church members had written a play about a woman that has a conversation with God. So it is a monologue, and he asked me to be the woman to do the play. Simply enough, that monologue is written in a little journal, and to where I'm just sitting in a chair and I'm supposed to be pretending. So once again, I'm supposed to be pretending to be writing in my journal, and where everything is actually all written there. That way I don't have to memorize anything. So there I am sitting in front of 20 to 30 church members. They're all friends, people that we've known for a long time. And I got so terrified that not only did that monologue did not happen, but I left the building in tears, and I sat outside crying, and I would not go back into the building. So the play never took place. That was my very first main experience at public speaking. Since then, I am very thankful that I have been able to, I can't say 100% overcome that fear of public speaking, but to where I've been able to harness it and use that energy to still go out and do it. And I've been on stages with doing musical theater, doing plays, and doing some teaching, doing some videos like I'm doing today, attending networking events where I get to stand in front of strangers and share about me. Thankfully, I have been able to harness that fear, right? Does it mean that the fear is gone? No, it's not gone. It's still, once in a while, it surfaces a little bit more than others. But what I want to share with you about that is that the progress from that day where I had that journal and I'm supposed to be pretending to write and say what I'm writing as if I'm speaking with God, to where it's my thoughts. And I was so terrified that I just left the building, to being able to stand up in a room full of strangers and share about what I do. Or actually, the biggest audience that I had when I got up to share was over 300. So that's a good place, right? Some people share in front of thousands. I have not reached there yet. However, the ability to work on harnessing that fear is something that comes from doing the personal development. It's something that comes from saying, I'm terrified and I'm going to do it anyways. And it's the thing that by doing it, that is what gets somebody to become $1 million speaker. Whether you go speaking to crowds of thousands of people, or whether you go speaking to businesses, or to where you learn how to speak and share your story and share with others about what you do, but mostly how you can solve their problems. By learning how to speak and practicing how to speak, you get to become that $1 million speaker, to where it's not necessarily speaking engagements that make you that income, but it's because you learn how to speak, you learn how to communicate, you learn how to overcome that fear, you learn how to use your voice. Your voice is a tool. You need to practice using that tool. So there you go, my friends. This is your invitation to get started in sharing your story. This is your invitation to get started in learning to practice using your tool. Some people, they hire speaking coaches in order to have that support to overcome that fear and to learn how to do the steps. Other people, they simply get started one video at a time, one speaking engagement at a time. Some people, they speak to their little stuffed animals. All right? So get started. Now, I would love for you to share in the comments if you have a story of when you first got started and maybe it didn't happen or it did happen, and what were the results? How did you feel about it? I would love to hear your story. So be sure to add that right in the comments. And I did mention the Goal Getters Global, so I'll put that at this link right here on that blog page. I'll put the link for that there. And get started. It takes taking a step, right? Taking a step, right? Taking another step, right? If you don't take those steps, you'll never get there. And the steps don't have to be giant leaps. They can be small steps, small steps, small steps, small steps to get you to where you want to go. So get started with your speaking to become that $1 million speaker. And once again, I'm Marianne Roos, your guide to releasing that badass in you, and I can't wait to be watching you and cheering you on your journey to being that $1 million speaker. Till next time, toodaloo, a hooey ho.